think one of the things that's important when you sort of enter into a realm of creative or creativity workshops is that it's important to understand what it is that we're talking about when we talk about creativity. I think that people have different ideas and definitions of in their head about what is creativity. And of course, there's been theories, Jungian, there's, Briggs, the Myers-Briggs, there's all these theories out there. But essentially what it is, it's a survival skill. It's a survival set of skills. And you would have a really difficult time not being creative. And that's one of the things that a lot of people, when you go to these creative workshops, everyone's like, how am I going to be more creative? How am I going to get better ideas and blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is that you're already creative when you wake up in the morning. And your car's in the shop and your bike has a flat tire, how are you going to get to work? That's a creative challenge. Parenting is a creative challenge. The idea that there are some people who are creative and other people who aren't is false. And another reason why I really like to bring in the inclusivity of the design process is that the only thing we need to do is be put into the driver's seat of our own creativity and connect with it a little bit.
Alpha Sergeant 14 has created in mine and many others in the editing community a couple of editing masterpieces. I myself heard of Alpha Sergeant 14 back in 2010, but never paid much attention only because there were so many editors around at that time. Fast forward to 2014, which was the release of Far Cry 4. Personally, I'd lost hope and left the Far Cry family in 2015, only to be enticed back by both Fallen Champ and Lazy Mapper. I was introduced to a new family with new editors and seasoned ones I played with in past iterations of the Far Cry franchise. I began Twitch streaming user-created maps on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One with players trying to convert me to PC. Eventually I did. I upgraded my PC and purchased a copy of Far Cry 4 on Steam. Once I was up and running, the name Alpha Sergeant 14 popped up and everyone was talking about him and a map called Dunwich Horror. Dunwich Horror is an incredible stage of artistry and some of the finest customised editing I have ever laid my eyes on. After roaming through this sandbox of hidden gems, I had a conversation with Fallen Champ and this is what he had to say.
What do you think was different with Alpha Sergeant compared to other builders?
It was mainly the detail and the neatness of his work. Back then he did some indoor maps and they were quite complex, although you were limited on what you could actually use because there wasn't a lot of items.
And that's Far Cry Predator you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, you were very limited and you couldn't, like with Far Cry 2 you can pick anything, but with Far Cry Predator said that you picked military, you were stuck to those military items and there wasn't many, but he managed to, I guess it was like early stages of custom builds, everyone was trying to do different things, but he managed to do some really neat work.
Like, how do you feel he's improved as a map editor? I mean, now that we're going into the sort of like heavy sort of customization of map editing.
Well, he on Far Cry 2 he did a couple of maps called Escape the Drug Trip 1 and 2, and one was based on the Silent Hill and the other was based on Bioshock, and he proved he could mix it with the best of them with the escape maps. But not only that, I mean, with the new game that's come out, well, we say new, it's old now, Far Cry 4, those two maps that he did that you've played, I don't think anyone on the system at the moment can do anything like that.
The one commodity that is most valuable on this earth is time. Time to love, time to live. From the moment the human body is born, it begins dying. I don't think you quite caught that. Let me say it again. From the moment the human body is born, it begins dying. Some happen faster, some happen slower. Some of us help them go faster, and some of them prevent it from happening sooner than later. How many seconds, how many minutes do we waste every day doing things that are nowhere near the goals and aspirations and passions that we have inside? How many times do you go through the course of a day and realize, did I do anything I set out to do today? write down those goals each and every day. No matter if it's 2 goals a day, if you can accomplish those, then you're doing more than just making it through the day. You are living and achieving your dreams.
I think most would agree that when it comes to customized editing in Far Cry's map editor, we all aspire to better ourselves, to create something others can enjoy. Alpha Sergeant 14 is a representation of that creative process, and in my opinion, Alpha's maps transcend gameplay. This is a museum of art that should and is recognised and embraced by its community. A game that birthed so many artists and gave life to a deeper burning desire. I asked Far Cry members what they thought of Alpha Sergeant's maps, and one user said, "He is an absolute object wizard." And another wrote, "I can only agree, the level of detail on those maps is incredible. I have downloaded them both."
I define it as the process of having original ideas that have value. And all 3 of those terms to me are important. It's a process, it's not an event. Sometimes ideas come fully formed, but more often than not, creativity and the development of original ideas evolves through various phases. Often the idea you start with is not the one that you end up with, or the original idea gets changed and elaborated in all kinds of ways that are a result of the process of working on it. I think that we all have a potential for creativity. We're born with it. If you're a human being, it comes with the kit. And to say that people are born with the capacity for creativity, and we all are, I believe is true. It's equally true to say, though, that very many people never develop these powers properly. They don't understand them, and they don't acquire them or refine them any more than everybody on Earth is literate.
For those who have no knowledge of customized building, it is a creative process where an editor takes several pre-built objects to make something else. For example, Alpha Sergeant demonstrates this in every corner of his maps, like a piano made from books, or a lampshade created from glasses. An incredible example is a customized chandelier in Dunwich Horror built from lighters and other objects. Lazy Mapper wrote, "What I remembered from the first map, I thought, was the most detailed custom-made objects I have ever seen. A large percentage were so cleverly made that I had a hard time understanding how they were made, but still amazing. From the typewriter to the chandelier, piano, 4-double camera, even furniture, and of course, the italic writing from MJ2 Sanctuary." Lazy Mapper then goes on to say that the windows and the woodwork were also the best he'd ever seen. When it comes to Alpha Sergeant 14, the same sentiments are echoed across the Far Cry editing family, and his artwork has in no doubt become a beacon of inspiration for most map builders. If the Ubisoft are listening and watching, please understand that maps like this could not have been created without the platform you handed us. With Far Cry 5 around the corner, these two maps should be an example and a testament to a growing community and its die-hard fans. For myself, the Far Cry map editor has tamed a restless soul and given so many of its fans a creative playground in which we can now partly appreciate what it takes for Ubisoft games designers to create a world for players to enjoy. This video is dedicated to an incredible artist. From all of us in the editing community to you, Alpha Sergeant 14, we salute you. There are so many more editors on the horizon, both new and old. After playing Dunwich Horror and MJ2 Sanctuary, I could not bring myself to edit this video in the usual style I'm known for. I had to challenge myself and change my format, only because I was inspired by the creative imagination of Alpha Sergeant 14. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and please stay till the end. This is Kemet 1976, enjoy and thanks for watching.